Claire is gay. All right, everyone, welcome to Masculine Geek number 233, the live stream AD&D Game 2, Session 24. Without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to our DM, Mr. Drew Bay. Please take it away.
All right. So last time we left off, we were in Jorvik, and the group had encountered the thief Sled, who attempted to pick Ulfer's pocket, if I recall, and ended up getting beaten pretty severely for it and taken by the guards. And was there somebody else that came at you the same time as Sled, or am I misremembering?
There was, I think so. There wasn't. I don't think there was just Sled.
No, there was not just Sled. This is driving me nuts. Normally, I review all of this immediately beforehand. It's been a hectic day. So if you recall, remind me. But what I do remember is shortly after this encounter, while you were dealing with Sled, I think it was Ulfer that flew up to get kind of a bird's eye view of everything that was going on. Correct. And you were alerted to something happening over at the ship.
Well, we cleared that out, and we figured out that some merfolk or some deep ones had attacked the ship. There was one person left. There's one person left, which I think the paladin healed.
No, I did.
Or
you
Robert
did not
healed
heal him.
He healed him and brought him back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right. And he answered the questions for you.
Yes, correct. I used cure serious wounds on him.
And that's where we left off.
Okay, and did you get a chance to question him, or did we...
Oh, we questioned him.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, we left off, and that was the evening. And right now, as you recall, because of the moon approaching being full, it's not quite full yet, but it's approaching being full. This is the time of month that there have been murders, gruesome, just bloody murders committed in and around Jorvik, mostly in the slums or the poorer areas on the west side of the river near the west wall, but also beyond the west wall, occasionally in some of the little farmsteads outside of the walls and in the woods to the west of the river. And I believe there was a storm raging to the west, lightning storm.
It was on the way, yeah.
Yeah, that was slowly moving towards. So this is still pretty late at night while this is happening. So we've got a situation where merfolk had attacked and nearly killed everybody, all of the clerics that were on the boat. And some of the treasure is missing. And you can see some of it appears to have been scattered across the deck. There are some of those strange coins and some gems mixed in and about all of the blood from and body parts from both the merfolk, or deep, we'll call them deep ones, that sounds cooler, and the clerics.
Very Thulian.
Yes. And if I recall correctly, Ulfer could see that faint luminescence of some of them swimming away, going east down the river towards the coast. So also, while you were up there, I may be misremembering, but I think I mentioned that you noticed just the faintest flicker of campfires off to the northeast.
Yeah, you said they were a few days, or at least a day or two away, and those were the ones that we saw when we first arrived.
Yes.
The war party of goblins.
And real quick I think everybody here was here then. I think the only person we were missing was TJ.
I think so.
Okay. So then just a real quick recap, because I don't know if we got new people watching, but when the adventure party landed, when their boat came to shore before coming up the river to Jorvik, they saw a town, or a small village, we'll call it a fishing village, that had been raided, razed, massacred by what appeared to be goblins. It appeared that the men and most of the animals, many animals in town were killed, slaughtered, and that the women and children were captured, as well as some animals, which they appeared to be using or bringing behind them, dragging their carts. So there's that to deal with. So we are now in the middle of the night. The moon is not quite full, but it is up there. You can see occasionally as the clouds, which are now moving faster in your direction, are passing by it. Occasionally there will be little gaps in the clouds, and you'll see that moon getting pretty full. And
that's right, because we think there might be were creatures involved, maybe. And it's close to a full moon, so there's a possibility that we may run into some.
So the light is
shapeshifters.
There is a strong possibility. So you have you're on the ship. These are the things that are going on. You start to feel a little bit of a chill in the air, and just the slightest drops of rain. You can start to see these on the water, and in the gore that is still wet and slick on the deck of your boat. So, what does everybody do?
I suggest we have whatever crew is remaining clear up the shit, and then see if it makes sense to go back to town.
Your crew were at the hall, or they were in the temple in town, staying in the quarters there. So while your crew were resting there, the temple had these clerics volunteer to come, or not all clerics, but some clerics and some apprentices come and volunteer to watch the ship for you.
Right. So that's who was guarding it. And I was wondering, after I had healed the one survivor, I'm not sure if I'm misremembering or not, but didn't we send him into town to raise the alarm and have security, the guardsmen come to the ship so that we could warn them, and also warn the crews of the other ships that their vessels might be in danger? Because my character's thought was this: one,
Sounds
we
good.
needed to get our crew back, just so we've got some more people here. We need to alert the rest of Jorvik that these deep ones pose a danger to them, because it's my thought that in trying to raise our army to go back to the island, this might be something that we can use to present to the Lord of Jorvik to make him not only bless our desire to lead men back to the island, but also to help support that either financially or with men from his household, for obviously a promise of the treasure. But the evil of that island is spreading and is a threat to Jorvik, and is a threat to the men that make this place their home and sail from here. So I think that was something we could use to our advantage in presenting that to the Lord of Jorvik. And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
Plus the fact
sense.
that we're assisting his guardsmen in eliminating the criminal elements here in the town, and doing what we can to to spread the word of the gods and do their will, at least to our understanding of it. So,
okay. Well, all the high priest, or I guess, priest, shaman, Sather.
Seamus.
He's not the leader of the town.
No, that's what I said. Because we were talking when we turned in Sled, and we turned in the father of the guy the guardsman had killed, not knowing that he was asleep, who was the other guy that had attacked us, who had attacked Ulfur, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
We were going to testify against them before the Lord of Jorvik, who
you're all Eirik Erstead.
Yeah, okay. So we were going to go before the Jarl and tell him that, and testify, but also present to him the danger of the island. And now here this attack has happened on our ship. So obviously the threat of the island is now a threat to Jorvik, and I would like to spin that to our advantage in accumulating an army to go back. But also we need to rouse the other ship masters to get them to their boats, because while only our ship was attacked, and likely because we are marked by our enemy, they don't know that. So if we get those men to their ships, in watching their ships, it will also help watch our ship. So there's a lot of stuff I've got in my head character wise that all kind of connect together for the good of everyone, actually. So
okay, so
makes sense.
When you ask Johann, the one surviving person who revived, to go to the temple to alert them and to fetch the guards, he seems really nervous and says, "And who's coming with? It is not prudent, not wise to walk the streets alone in Jorvik when the moon is full."
Well, isn't there an inn, or there's got to be some kind of guard on the docks or something that he could go to immediately and then spread from there? Because the rest of our party isn't here because...
Oh, I thought you wanted him to go back and get your crew. You just want him to go get the guards.
Well, we need to get the guards first, and then he can go back and get the crew. But that's, first things first, because, a boat in the harbor has been attacked. So we've got to raise the white alarm. That's first and foremost. And then he can go get our crewmen and stuff, and probably go with one of the guards, because I'm sure after all that we've done since we've been here, that if we ask one of the guardsmen or the captain of the guard to go with him to the temple, because obviously, the Jarl of Jorvik has to be notified of what's happened, as well as, we should alert our men in the temple to get them back to the ship. So there's definitely a proper procedure, and our characters, especially Bjorn, would do everything he can to honor the chains of command in the city.
He tells you that even the guards have not been going out in the evening.
Okay.
As soon as the sun sets, everyone is inside. What they have been doing is there are guard houses and towers along the walls, but where you are by the river on the docks, you are not nearby any of these. However, many of the guards will stay in some of the inns and taverns, because these inns and taverns are spread out. So there's usually one or two that wherever they find themselves, when the sun goes down, they go to, and this is him explaining this, they will go to the nearest tavern, and that is where they will be for the night. And the same thing with a lot of the sailors. Often they're just sleeping wherever they happen to find themselves when the sun goes down.
Okay, then perhaps having him go to some of these inns to rouse the men from the various ships, to let them know that there's been an attack on the ships in the dock, and they should return to their vessels to make sure that their companions guarding the ships aren't dead, or that their property have not been stolen off their ships, might not be a bad idea. Which will at least get him somewhere safe and in the general direction to start the stone rolling downhill to rouse the guards.
Okay. And he says, "Oh, there is a hall that is not too far from here. I should be able to find someone there. It's Yggdrasil's Shade."
Okay.
And he looks over his wounds once more, and he's amazed that all he sees now, where previously there were gaping wounds, are just these scars.
Mhm.
And thanks you again, and turns and makes a dash for the town. And you just hear his, and it's quiet because, again, almost everybody's inside. All you can hear is the wind and the thunder coming from the distance. And his footsteps as they fade away along the pretty much packed dirt roads in this area. So while he is going to do that, you can feel the wind, the rain starting to come a little bit harder. But also, you think that you hear something in the distance, faint. Not sure if it is a laughing or a screaming.
This doesn't sound.
But the wind seems to be carrying it from the opposite side of the river. You are on the east side of the West River, closer to the middle of the town, and suddenly the sound stops, and it was very faint. I think who would have the best hearing here?
Not Ulfer.
Actually, you're the ranger.
Yeah, probably
Volstead.
me.
Let's see. So you definitely heard it, and you think that it came from the west in general, from the west side of the opposite side of the river.
Is that from where the fire camps?
The fire is in the other direction. So in the town, you are on the east side of the West River. There's two rivers that kind of split around, and most of the city, I should say, is in the middle of that. And there's a little bit on either side, and there's a wall that's been built up around most of this. And there's some gaps where the river goes through.
All right.
But so this city is divided into three parts. There's the middle between the two rivers, and then there is the side east of the river. You are on the east side of the West River, so just east of you. And then there is a side east of the East River. And this is not perfect. This is not even a shade, but you get the two rivers. The most of the city is in the middle here, and then you've got the little bit on
Scan that in and make a
side of it.
PDF so you can share it.
I will do that. I've got the document saved somewhere. I need to take that and just generate a proper medieval map.
Mm-hmm.
How far across is it? Can we see?
How far across is the river?
The river, yeah.
It is not so
shore
far
down
across that you can't see. It's not like the Mississippi where it's like really, really far. It's
100 yards, maybe.
that sounds good. Yeah, about a football field, maybe 100 to 150, depending on the part, somewhere in that range. Big enough that you can easily get ships through. Not so big that you couldn't see the buildings on the other side. From where you are, you can see them, and you can also see there's docks. There's other long ships that are on the other side of the river. So, but you don't see, and you can see that there are windows that there you can vaguely make out some candlelight behind some of them, and you can see smoke rising from many of the buildings on the other side, but you don't see or hear movement out in the street. And now that scream or laughing, whatever it was, is cut off. It's just the distant, actually a little less distant. The thunders is starting to, when there's a lightning flash, that thunder is happening just a little bit. You're hearing the thunder just a little. There's less of a delay, so you know that storm is approaching, and you can feel it. So, do you relay this? You all think you hear it, but only Geldar really gets a good sense of the direction that it was from. And also, when this happens, Ulfer's what did you call the Carl, Ulfer's pseudo dragon. Carl perks up. Carl perks up a little bit, and you can kind of see him starting to look.
Well, he can also talk to me
around.
telepathically too, so he's intelligent.
You feel him communicating with you and get a sense that he is concerned and curious.
I can picture us both kind of looking up to the west at about the same time, or both of our heads twitch and kind of look in that direction, the dragon and me.
All right. I ask Galdor,
Also,
what,
you hear a yell.
A yell of what?
You can hear what it sounds like, somebody yelling off to the east in the direction that Johann went.
I need a family tree written down for this shit.
I need to make a I've got, if I didn't have my notes, I wouldn't remember half of it. So
more.
And it's distant. It sounds like he's probably about 100 or so yards off as well. But you just hear what sounds like some yelling.
Is that Sven I hear? All right, shit. So after Galdor and Carl pretty much look up to the same direction at the same time, Ulfr notices this, and he looks quizzically at both of them, and just kind of like, "What's the deal? What's going on? Give, guys! What's happening?" And then we hear this yell. Is that Sven?
Is it Sven?
I'm just making it up on the fly. Is that Sven?
You're
good
in a
old
Viking
Sven.
town. There's probably a Sven somewhere.
Is that Sven? Is he drunk again? That fuck.
Our drinking buddy Sven.
Exactly. That bastard. He's out wandering around.
So which one is louder? Is it the yelling to the east or the I mean, obviously only I and Carl heard to the west.
The yelling to the east was louder, and it was also suddenly cut off.
Which one sounded more like sounded more like a panicked yell? Which one sounded more urgent to me?
So the first one was very faint, very indistinct, and you couldn't tell if it was screaming or real high-pitched laughing, and it was cut off suddenly. And this seemed to be carried over from the east. No, sorry, carried over from I'm getting it mixed up. And the screaming from the opposite side of the river on the west side of town seems to be where this came from. The shouting came from the direction that Johann went, and it was louder and was also abruptly cut off.
I would tell my companions that something is going on. I heard a yell that was cut off to the east. You can hear that going to the west right now. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the closer one and see what's going on. That one would concern me more because it's closer by and we can get to it and investigate that faster.
All right.
I agree with the ranger.
Yeah. Does Carl kind of go along with that? Does he seem like that's a good? He wants to head in that direction.
Carl basically responds not in of words, of course, but in just kind of a general. You can sense his intent,
His
and
approval.
he seems to simply say, "I'll just go where you guys go."
All right. Well, since I'm giving you direction, go ahead and scout ahead a little bit, like maybe 20 or 30 feet in the air above us. Just keep track of us. Fly, circle
You
us,
can
and
see
keep an
what
eye.
he can see, can't you?
Correct. Within about 250 yards.
And can pseudo dragons see? Do they have dark vision?
I believe they do.
It's going to be handy. So
Yeah.
you
The fuck is Carl?
you connect with him almost without thinking. You're just able to, by focusing on Carl, you can see
Hey, Carl.
what he sees. As you're seeing what Carl sees, it's sort of what your vision of the boat sort of kind of pulls back, and you still have a sense of awareness of the people standing around you and the boat, but the majority of your vision is what Carl is seeing now. And so you see the ground rush away from you quickly as he very rapidly goes up, and the rooftops are passing by, and he's scanning left, right, and you're just picking up little movements in the windows, flickers of candlelight, trails of smoke. And then he catches very briefly a quick movement down an alleyway.
Oh.
And where he sees that movement down an alleyway, you also see a naked man lying.
Aaron Clary?
Lying face down in the alleyway. And he is not moving.
A human?
Appears to be human.
Was that Sven?
Do you want how far can you communicate with Carl?
I don't know. I think you'd have to adjudicate that. I would assume that if I could see through his eyes, then I still have the connection. Yeah.
Carl drops down and lands on. This is right outside Yggdrasil's Shade, this inn. And he lands on the edge of the roof, and he's peering down. And there is, naked, face down, this guy. And next to him are a bundle of bloody clothes. And it's hard to be certain because, again, you're seeing through dark vision. So there's kind of a mix of that heat and cold with just barely any color. But you think that the cloak lying next to him looks familiar.
Familiar in what way?
It appears to have been the same cloak that the thief that tried to rob you earlier in the evening was wearing.
Oh, shit. Not Sled. The other one.
Sled.
It's Sled?
You don't know if the body is Sled. The body is naked. You can't tell.
Well, the body would be fucking burned.
Oh, that's right.
Sled.
There don't appear to be any burns on this body.
So it's a burnless Sled kind of character.
You do notice, because as you are thinking this, do I see burns? Carl flies down and he gets a little bit closer to the body and tries to move it. It is Johann.
Oh, shit.
And he has a huge gash on the side of his head that is bleeding all over the alleyway.
Now, who is Johann again?
Johann is the cleric that you just sent to go to that inn to alert the guards. And
so all right,
so he didn't even make it to the inn?
Yeah, that's my question. So Johann's fucking naked in the street with a cloak and bloody clothes near him, but is near the inn, which was his destination. Does it look like he was coming out of the inn, facing out of the inn, or facing towards the inn?
It looks like, so he is in the alley that is just next. So if he were to go just a little further down, he could have been to the door of the inn. But for some reason, he is naked in there. Now, there are people opening the shutters and the windows and peeking out at Carl. Carl decides he is going to not be visible. And as you recall, he is a chameleon-like abilities.
He can be invisible. He can turn invisible, yeah.
And it's dark, so they cannot see him. So he kind of pulls back into the shadows, and he's watching them. And people are kind of looking out and now looking around. There's this bleeding, naked body, and somebody says something about, because you can hear, I'm just going to say you can hear what Carl can hear too, about going out to check in, and everybody's like, you're mad. We're not going out there. It could be the beast, and yelling at him to shutter the windows.
Or how close are we now to the end with Johann laying naked in the street?
You are maybe 100. You got to go down off the dock where the ships are, and then past. It's maybe 2 streets over.
All right, so I'm the only one that saw this. I will relay this back to my companions and say, look, apparently Carl found Johann naked and bleeding in the street. It doesn't look like he made it to the inn. He's laying outside the inn with bloody clothes near him. And the people that were looking outside the windows have now decided that it's not worth their time or effort or safety to go out and help him because they mentioned something about a beast. So
although somebody is now saying something to the guards, and again, you are hearing all of this because Carl is hearing this, about them being duty bound to apprehend the beast. And so the guards are arguing about which of them should go outside, and they decided it'd be safest if they all went out together. And so again, Carl is going to fly up and land a little bit higher so that he's not easily seen. He's a little apprehensive here. And they come around, and they all are very, just ever stopping at any little sound that they hear. The 2 of them stand by the ends of the alley, and they're watching. And one of them very slowly, with his axe out in front of them and shield, is just really he looks absolutely terrified as he's coming down this alley and sees the blood, and he just freezes. And you see him Carl sees him, and you can see through Carl's eyes, he's just very slowly glancing around, and then he takes the axe head and he kind of pokes at Johann's body. And then Johann just sort of starts to moan and turn over a little bit, and he jumps back, and he's got the axe up, he's got the shield ready, and he's just waiting. And Johann finally rolls over and just says, help me. And he tries to get up, and then he just slips and stumbles. And the guard backs away, and he's not yelling, but whispering loudly, he's alive. come, help me carry him. Help me carry him. And the other two slowly back down the alley. They're watching out. And they turn all at once to get Johann. And as this is happening, movement catches Carl's eyes. And it is big and it is fast. And Carl didn't even notice this thing coming. As the first one whispers and they're coming, he sees their eyes go wide and he turns back, and this massive, hairy beast kind of loping in these huge strides. It looks like it's almost the size of a bear. Huge, yellow, red eyes, just comes flying, bounding down this alley, and grabs up Johann in one huge clawed hand and whips out the other hand and
cuts his cornea.
And the closer guy with the shield is knocked back, and the claw rakes across and just completely opens his throat, spraying blood across the wall of the inn. And the other two guards scream.
So everyone hears this, and I'm going to relay back. There's some kind of beast in the alleyway attacking Johann.
You can all hear these screams.
Well, now. They can't see. I mean, the only person they can see is me, unfortunately, through the eyes of the dragon.
They're screaming, screaming. And Carl also goes up a little bit higher. Just, he wants to have some more height. And so...
How far away is this, Drew?
About 100 feet. No, 100 feet. Maybe it's 2 blocks, 2 streets down. And to their credit,
running. Yeah, me too.
Okay, when you guys hear, so, and I'm going to tell Ulfer what he is still seeing. So Carl is flying up, and now he's going out over this thing. To their credit, after these guards scream, they're only frozen for an instant, and the one drops his shield and brings down his spear, and the other attempts to do the same just as this thing just leaps. And I mean, it jumps and it completely clears them. Just, the spears don't even come close. The thing must have gone about 15, 20 feet in the air, jumping over them while holding on to and basically he's got Johann. So this thing with an adult male in one hand leaps over these things like it was nothing, and then continued to bound north through.
All right, I'll relay this and just say we need to get down to the inn.
Yeah, we're running already.
Some kind of beast has Johann.
Yeah.
What do you want Carl to do?
That's the screams we're hearing.
Okay. Well, I'm running down there along with everybody else.
Yeah.
What do you want Carl to do?
Carl's going to keep an eye. So the beast took off?
Yes.
All right. I'll have Carl track the beast at least a few blocks and see where it goes. See if it goes to ground somewhere.
Okay. So as Carl is following him, what are you guys all doing?
We're heading towards the inn.
Everybody's running towards there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to listen to whatever I'm told is the direction we need to go. But we're taking off.
You are all running, but some of you are wearing a little bit heavier armor than others. So Galdor,
keep up, Dane.
Galdor gets there first, And yeah, Dane's got his heavy armor, and Bjorn's got his heavy armor.
Yeah, but
Ulfur,
some of us also have like 17 strength, so I'm only in splint mail, so it's not that heavy with 17 strength. I'm not in full plate or even chain.
You're not running it in like 9 or 10 seconds, but you guys do get there a very short while after, and you find that the two guards that the thing leaped over, they are now dragging their friend out of the alley and trying to get him into the bar. As you are getting there, they see you coming, and you scare the hell out of them, and they yell to you, "Get off the streets, you fools! Hurry, inside, and they're dragging their friend inside, and somebody's holding the door open, just looking around, and that you can hear now shutters opening, there's people peeking out, murmurs, and the rain starts to come down a little bit harder, and a lightning bolt this hits the street very nearby. There's a loud crack of thunder, and they're in the door, huge just smear of blood and piss, where they're dragging this guy in, and the people that are in the door yelling, "Now, get inside."
I yell back, "Raise the alarm. Do you not see? The gods are watching you." And I point to where the lightning flashed down and the thunder. "The hunt is on. It is our night to bring down the beast. Follow us in Thor's name." My hammer held high, and I continue to run after the beast.
Somebody yells, "He's drunk. Lock the doors." So you go after the beast. Now,
I'm continuing to run in the direction of where I want to know which direction. Point the way.
So you see on the ground a blood trail.
Okay.
There is blood dripping. It is, however, because now the rain is starting to come down a little bit heavier. The rain is beginning to wipe this trail. And this was from Johann.
Right.
It didn't slash Johann. It just grabbed him and picked him up to go with him. Johann was bleeding, however, from the gash in his head.
Okay. Well, I assume if I can see the trail, then obviously the ranger can. So I'll yell to the ranger. It's like the blood. Can you keep track of it even with the rain?
Carl flies down in front of you, and he's flapping his wings, and he's turning, and he looks back at you, and he looks the other way, and he looks back at you. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of looking back and forth as he's flying in the direction down the other alley.
I'll direct everyone to follow me and then following Carl.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm continuing to run as fast as I can, following the blood as well. But if I've got the help of aerial sight, then that'll be another clue I can use to stay on the hunt.
Can I say it is so cool that Vince has a drone, basically? That's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah. All he needs to do is drop a cluster bomb on some kids, and he can run for president.
Holy shit.
Several.
And maybe even get a Nobel Peace Prize for it.
Wow. Or fireballs.
I'll have to give Carl my wand of fire. Right?
I think that is a brilliant idea, Ben.
Actually.
I think we need to do this. I think I need to give Carl my wand of fire and then use my telepathic ability to set off the wand.
Better than a red adult dragon there.
Oh yeah.
Cannot see any problem with this.
I cannot
nothing
either.
nothing can go wrong here.
You need to completely.
I'm gonna say fuck yeah, just because it's a clever use of the
Thank
thing,
you.
and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So this might come in handy too. Well, consider that the majority of construction in this city is a mixture of stone and wood with straw.
Well,
matted
if they
down
want
on
this,
some of
if
the
they want this
floors.
beast killed, they'll. There's going to be some collateral damage.
So, as you are tracking the blood drops, Carl goes back up.
All right.
And now, Ulfer, you can see this through Carl's eyes, but the rest can't. So you may want to. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but they can't see this, but you can see this as you are moving north through the alleys. The blood trail, which is just drops, and which Galdor notices that at some point there's
Stop it.
the blood trail just suddenly lets off. It doesn't drop off gradually, it suddenly lets off. But Carl sees movement. It is on the top of you are in between some shops, and the range, some of these are just one-story shops, some of these are a little bit taller, and you're still close to, you're just a few blocks from the docks. So there are some larger storage buildings, grain and other things. It is on a rooftop with Johann's body looking down, watching you come through the alley towards where it is. Ulfer can see this. The rest of you don't see this. You just see there's nothing. It's an empty alley.
All right.
You've lost
tell-
the trail.
It's up on the
I'm,
roof above us. It's above us,
It's in front of you and up to
It's
the
in front
east
of us.
or on your right side.
and it's up above us on the right hand side. Look. Carl
Okay.
spotted it.
So
It's on the
if it's
rooftop.
up above me, if it's up above me, I'm automatically drawing my bow out, knocking an arrow. I'm getting ready.
You can see now this thing silhouetted, because it can hear Ulfer saying this, thing silhouetted against the moon. It stands up, and it's got Johann's body in front of it, and you can't make out Johann's features because it's backlit by this huge, there's a gap in the clouds, and you can see now Carl's face, and there is another lightning flash, and now you can see his eyes. He is in absolute terror. This thing tears his head off, and there is a gout, just a spurt of blood, and hurls his head down towards you.
Shit.
Okay, a silhouette is a
Bludgeoning
target,
damage.
so I'm already taking my longbow out.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
already
Yeah,
won.
I'm getting ready to cast Spiritual Hammer at it.
Hurls the head down and just narrowly misses Galdar. You manage to you feel as this head is spinning, the blood that is still running out of the neck splash across your cheek, and Johann's beard brush your ear as his head flies past. You came this close to getting hit by his head, and you can hear it just splat like a melon on the wall behind you this angle
Fantastic.
ground. And seeing that misses, then you see just tear the body in half and throw both of the rest, and it's not quite trying to get you, just throwing it in your general direction. So these pieces of his body just go flying above you. And the thing then bounds off across the roofs, still going north.
Would I have had time to launch an arrow at him during that whole display?
You know what? Make an attack roll. It's going to be
6.
Yeah, that would not have hit it.
I don't get any.
Okay, so this thing is going across the roofs, but Carl can see where it's going. So
Actually, attack rolls are d20s, right?
yes.
Oh, I rolled a d6. I rolled an 18.
Rolled an 18 on a D20.
D20, yeah.
Okay, so first, partially behind. It's almost 3/4 behind cover. What is? Let me check Thaco. I don't think that's going to hit. Let me check anyways. This is with the whole situation here. Let's see, so 14. Hold on a second. Oh, shit. I was looking at the wrong part here. There it is. That's not going to hit this one.
Okay.
It's just, and mainly because of the angle and because it was up on a rooftop and had the body in front and was throwing, so it's behind cover while it was doing that.
Fair enough.
But you have a general sense of the direction it is going. You are not only is Ulfer able to see through Carl's eyes where it's going on these rooftops, but you can hear people kind of shouting and panicking as this thing is going. And now Ulfer, about this thing is just bounding, and it jumps down from the roof, and then it crashes through the door, just smashes right through another inn, and you can hear the screaming from inside.
All right, so how far away from are we from this inn?
You are about 3 streets down, so you could probably get there in under a minute.
All right, my plan is I'll still have Carl fly above and keep out of the way as always, and then I want to get within 50 feet of it, because if I can get within 50 feet of it, I can cast Hold Monster on it. And then, after casting Hold Monster, I will have Carl sting the fuck out of him and put him into a coma.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that's the plan. So that's that. So I don't know how you want to adjudicate that as far as like initiative, but that is what Ulfer is doing, and I'm going to as I'm running towards the inn, I'm letting my companions know.
As you are running towards the inn,
I'm gonna do something.
You notice the sign hanging above the door. The inn is the Fenrir's Fag. Big dark timber structure on this. It has a wolf
I changed
head.
my mind. I'm just gonna take out my wand and burn it.
It has a wolf head above the entrance, and you now hear from the inside what sounds like shouting and screaming. and it sounds like it is whatever's going on in there is not good.
All right. Well, I'm just relaying very quickly. I need to get close to it. I'm gonna cast Hold Monster and then have Carl sting it.
Okay, Dane is going to try to approach the back of the inn to cut it off in case it tries to escape out the back.
All right.
And then enter from the back. But I know that's going to take more time than what.
Yeah, if you guys can slow it down, if I don't get to it in time, or if it goes out the back, try to delay it enough for me to cast a spell on it.
Okay. I will. I'll go through the front door. I'll yell for the ranger to come with me to the front, and yell for the dwarf to go with the paladin to guard his back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in stealth. If that's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, you can be stealthy all you want. Just keep an eye on our paladin for us, please.
Yep.
Who's going through the front door first?
I am,
Well,
and I asked the ranger
and-
to accompany me.
And Ulfer, obviously, because I need to cast a spell.
Right.
Okay, it is a big, and the whole structure. It's a dark timber structure. So they have the whole thing is very, very heavy timbers.
That's a big common room, right?
The front door, yeah, and there are not too many windows on this, just some narrow slit windows, not enough that a person could fit through going in and out. But the door is a big, heavy, dark timber door, and this thing,
Damn English oak.
there's a good, where there was. The thing is now just kind of swinging a little bit, and you can still hear the screaming inside, and a body, or part of a body, flies out the door. It looks like a thigh just torn off right below the hip, with the boot and pant leg still on it.
So a little dark meat.
So I guess that means the front door's open.
The front door was just kind of moving on its hinges. It was barred closed, but
Okay.
you can now see that the bar broke as it went in. But now, as it's like hitting this, it was knocked back by this thing going out. So it's swinging open just enough that you catch a glimpse of bodies everywhere, and blood. This thing is the whole place looks like it is just drenched in blood and body parts and upended tables and benches. And are you pushing the door open? Or are you?
Oh yeah, I'm charging in, shield in front, hammer at the ready to
I'm
attack.
right, and I'm at Bjorn's side.
As you charge in, you take that all of, just in the instant you step in, you take all of this in. Destroyed tables, benches upended. There are, there's beer and blood everywhere. There is a body lying over the fire pit that was in the middle of this place. Something, maybe a roast pig or something that was on a spit, had been knocked over and off to the side, and now the fire is slowly, starting to spread in here. And the bar,
it's like a masculine geek village by the sea, is what I'm hearing, right?
the bar is destroyed.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And this huge, hairy beast stands up, and as it stands up, it looks like it's like 8-9 feet tall, and it's got these long, lanky, shaggy limbs with this dark, sort of a brown with tinge of gray hair, these super long claws. It looks like the claws on this thing are like 2-3 inches, and this massive wolf head with these yellow red eyes. It has huge yellow eyes with sort of reddish pupils or irises.
Does he qualify as a giant class character now?
I don't think it technically would be considered giant class. It would be size large, but not giant class. So giant class would be like or just D&D rules, just for people wondering, giant class specifically refers to that like species. So giants and related to giants like Ettins, things like that. Whereas size, this would be considered a large size creature, but not a giant class creature. So, but it is fucking huge. And as it stands up, it still has a body in its hands. And this woman, a little bit older, she looks like she's not, her best years are far behind her, but you could tell she was probably pretty attractive when she was younger still. Maybe Shield Maiden, but she's in rough shape. One of her arms is barely hanging. I mean, there's some muscle and skin that's just keeping this thing from falling off. And she turns to look at you, and she just has this look of terror in her eyes. And the thing just bites down on the side of her neck. And as its teeth go through, the head just comes right off, and he pulls and just holds up what's left of the body, just swallowing all this blood. Swallowing all this blood as it's gushing out of it, and then slams it down on the ground and brings its arms out and just roars at you. And you can see that as it's doing this,
brutal.
There are a couple daggers sticking out of it, and there's a sword in its thigh, and there's a huge gash across its chest. And as it's roaring at you, you can see before your eyes this gash gradually closing and scarring over.
Oh shit!
All wasn't attacked with silver weapons.
Although
that's
range?
about to change.
Yep.
Roll for initiative.
What die roll am I doing again? 6-sider?
These. Wait! I almost fucked up there. No,
yeah.
First edition. First, you declare your actions. Then we roll for initiative.
I already declared my action. God damn it!
You are going to cast Hold Monster and then have Carl paralyze it.
Correct.
I am going to strike it with the full force of my hammer.
I don't even think I have anything that can do anything to this thing.
You don't have any silver daggers or anything like that you could throw at it, or
magic,
or stab it in the back since you're a thief.
Does my +1 magic sword do anything to this guy?
Oh yeah,
your magic helmet.
Yep.
So character knowledge versus player knowledge. You're not sure yet. Your character is not sure yet. And as far as player knowledge, maybe not. I guess there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to backstab it since I'm in stealth anyways.
I say Dane is still coming in from the back door.
Now, consider that this is, there are fires going, and there's still light coming from the central, although there's a body in it, so there's not as much fire. So there's fire chandelier, not chandeliers, but there's candles, and there's fire starting in different places from where candles came off tables. So there are shadows that you can possibly hide in to make your way around. So that, yeah, you're going to attempt to sneak around backstab. So we'll see how that goes.
Plus, hopefully, it'll be distracted by those of us attacking from the front. So
we're coming from the back, yeah.
Definitely taking that into consideration. And what is Galdor doing?
Drawing my sword. It's close combat situation, so I'm going to give it a shot.
And what is Dane doing?
Well, Dane was making his way around the back of the inn just to keep the thing from
That's
running
right.
out back. So
He wants a little backdoor. He wants some backdoor action.
All the women in the bar are dead.
Well, you know,
I'm
open
minded. There may still be some
20 gold pieces is 20 gold pieces.
That's right.
Right. Roll for initiative. Ooh.
6-sider?
Yep.
All right. Somebody want to roll that? I'm not doing it.
I got it.
Okay.
All right.
I rolled a 3.
Oh no, it's just one.
Yeah, just one for the party.
It's just team party initiative. Okay, so who's standing in front of it? Let's see, 1, 2.
Well, it was.
Well, no one. We just walked in the door. So
You just walked in the door. Well, you're inside the door. You're in the space with.
It's Bjorn and myself side by side in the door.
Yeah, and I've got my shield up to protect me, but also since Ulfer's near me, I've got it to protect him as well. So I'm using my shield in front of us, and then my hammer.
He's trying to protect me so I can cast a spell. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm coming around the side.
Coming around the mountain when she comes.
And my AC is 0.
I need to see what Galdor's AC is.
Okay.
8.
Mine is 2.
I've got 4.
That face doesn't look good. Screenshot that.
So it bites Galdor. It lunges at Galdor as he is drawing his sword, and before your sword clears your scabbard, it chomps down on your arm.
You're gonna be a lycanthrope.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Werewolf Ranger would be pretty overpowered, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of broken, but
superpowered ranger. Give me some lycanthrope.
Of course, you also have a cleric that may have remove curse, so
that's good.
You may have that going for you.
I'm gonna have to use my bloody red dice for the werewolf attacks here. And ooh, fuck. So that is 11 points of damage.
Oof.
And then it okay. And okay. So it also claws at and knocks back, but does not cause any harm to Bjorn because you get the shield in the way.
Okay.
But it does also hit Ulfer with the claw. Fuck. 9. Bite and the claws, and this thing is moving extremely, just shockingly fast.
I've got 33 hit points.
So it
left.
I mean, it gets you with that claw, but I got too many dice in the trail. Here we go. There's the one. It does not notice the thief that is quickly darting from shadow to shadow between the spreading flames. Keep in mind, tables and benches have been upended and there's bodies everywhere. So you have all this wreckage that you are able to hide behind, making your way around the back. Now, magic. Oh, shit.
No, it disrupted the spell.
That's right. Because
piece of shit.
So the spell was disrupted.
Correct.
So the whole monster is not going to happen. So the next thing would be, I'm going to say, let's have the thief go, because Bjorn would have been shielding as this was happening. So make your attack roll.
D20.
That's right.
All right. 16.
16. Let me check your.
Figure how the fuck that fucker got around your shield.
Where the fuck do I have your... Okay, I don't have your THACO written down here. You are a level what thief?
8.
Keep all my...
There is no THACO.
Yeah, it's attack
Well,
tables.
I know it's the attack tables, but if you find the attack tables and you find the 0 line and you run it across, the 0 line on the attack table tells you what they have to do to hit armor class 0. I started with 2nd edition, and I'm still used to just calling it that. So I have it here for thieves and assassins. So you said that you're... level 8?
Correct.
I mean, Carl wasn't interrupted.
I've got a times 4 backstab here.
Right.
Correct. Carl
Okay.
can still do his attack.
Is there any magical bonus on that dagger?
No, it's I only have normal weapons.
Oh shit! I gave you some magical items though, right?
I got a helm of underwater action, ring of invisibility, potion of love,
Oh.
potion of superheroism, and that's it.
Forgot about my cube of force. Damn it. He shouldn't have been able to hit me at all with that damn thing.
Cube of force. Oh, you'd have to use it, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm using it now.
Good, good.
And if it helps, it's 15 strength.
Okay. Yeah, that unfortunately, it moves so blindingly fast that as you were stabbing from behind, just as the tip would have made contact, it shifted from biting Galdor to leaping over and clawing at Ulfr and Bjorn. So it moved. You were right there, just almost had it, and it moved.
Must have been like 1 more AC or something. All right.
You were, well, I can't. Based on what
Close.
you saw, you think that you were
Yeah.
pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you'd managed to hit even with non-magical, although it would recover eventually, you could have still done some serious damage as a thief backstabbing in 1st edition. So
Backstabs do a lot of.
When does
Yeah.
Carl get his chance to attack?
Carl, oh shit.
yeah,
That's
He has a
I-
plus 4 to hit. He has a plus 4 to hit. This
I
is like-
have to check that. I've got him written down here, Carl, right underneath. Let's see, class level. So AC 2.
He's a level 2 monster. Hit dice is 2, so he would hit at a level 2 fighter
That's not super.
with a plus 4 to hit. And this creature's gonna have to save versus poison or go into a state of catalepsy, which lasts for 1 to 6 days. Fuck that thing.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, we're about to. Let's let everybody else get their attacks real quick, and then we'll have Carl do this. Let's see. Attacks is a level 2 fighter. So,
Yeah, and then has a plus 4 on top of that.
so okay. So Bjorn.
okay. Oh, come on, give me a good one.
Nice. That's a good.
Natural 20.
Ah, fuck you, beast.
Holy shit! With the hammer.
Yes, with my
Yeah.
magic hammer. So I'm gonna roll. Gotta find the D4
Critical
because you
hit,
said he was
magic
large.
hammer.
So that means. All right, so 4 plus 2. So that's 6 points of regular damage with a magic weapon. And now, thank you, Thor.
Long live Thor.
14 points of electrical damage.
Right in the cojones.
14. Wait, how much damage plus 14?
6
20
plus 14.
22 total?
Yeah, 20 total. Screenshot
Holy
that.
Fucking shit. All right, so as you are rebounding from the strike on your shield, slam the hammer right into this thing's chest, and as the hammer strikes its chest and you feel ribs begin to give way, there is a deafening thunderclap and a blinding flash of light as a bolt of lightning streaks down through the roof of the building, shattering timbers and just stunning this thing. You can see every muscle in its body. It's all of its limbs go taut, and it seems almost like it's going to break its back, how it's contorting as this lightning is arcing over it, and this smoke is coming off of it, and it begins to stumble. And then Geldor, with his now bitten and bleeding arm, you gonna swing that sword?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my cube of force, because that's going to prevent any living material from coming in on me.
So, all the actions are called before initiative is rolled. So anything else that you want to do now would start with the next combat round.
All right, that's fine. But I'm swinging. I'm swinging with it.
Okay, so the next round. So I need you to just make that attack roll. Sorry, I should have just been more clear. Just roll for the attack.
A natural 20.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Roll for damage. Now, rolling for damage. Keep in mind this is a large creature, and for some weapons you will have different level of damage for large versus small.
Right. So with a +1 magic sword and +2 against magic and enhancements, what am I rolling for damage on that?
So with a +1 magic sword and the +2 for damage,
The long sword is 1 to 12, 1 to 10, or 1 to 12 for large.
I believe it's 1 to 12 against large creatures. I'm gonna.
So I need to roll a 12-sided die.
Well, if it's a natural 20, you should get the full amount of that damage die. There's no rolling.
I think we're just doing the double the roll, but we could. Yeah, so roll and then we just double it. Although, you know what? Here's the thing. Yeah, you bring up a good point. If you will allow me to digress for a second. Okay, so first off, critical hits are not actually a thing in the rule book. It's one of those optional rules. It's up to the DM, which means that we can do it however the hell we want. And the problem with doubling damage is that a critical hit is supposed to be like you hit a vital area, or the hit is done with such violence or skill that it does an unusual amount of damage.
Full damage, yeah.
So if you have a weapon that does 12 points of damage, or 1 to 12 points of damage, what happens if you roll like a 1 and then you just end up getting 2 points of damage? So, but also 12 is still within the normal possibility of what you would roll. So for critical hits, a way that I've seen it done is you give it max damage for the first die, and then you roll a second die. That's
to give
what
your
I was
extra
going to suggest.
Yeah.
So whatever the die is for the attack, if you get a crit, here forward, instead of just doubling it, you get the full value of the dice plus your roll, and then
magic bonuses.
And then the magic bonuses. So if it's a D12, you get the full D12 plus the D12 you roll plus your magic bonuses.
Robert has to redo his then.
Well, Robert's not been doing any double damage. Robert's just been doing the straight rolls. They were critical, and it activates my magic ability on the hammer. So like I rolled since this was a large beast, my hammer does 1d4 worth of damage, plus it's got a +1 for magic. I have a +1 strength bonus. So I rolled a 4 plus the 2 was the 6 points regular damage.
Anyway.
So
we're gonna up the damage. So we're gonna up the damage. We're gonna so from now on we do the full fucking damage for the roll plus the modifiers. So I need to add the damage for that. Plus you fucking 12 plus 3. So holy shit, that's 15 and the 4. So that's 19 more points of damage plus whatever you roll on this d12.
Yeah, if you've got a long sword, you are against small and medium creatures 1d8, against a large creature 1d12. So in this case, since Drew said he was like 8-9 foot tall, roll a d12.
Yep, I did. I rolled a 10.
Okay.
So it's
hold on.
22 points of damage plus your bonuses.
24 points of damage.
Is this thing dead yet?
Okay. Well, hold on.
Jesus Christ.
I'm taking notes here. So, as you, too many fucking windows open. As you bring the sword across, there is lightning arcing all over this thing, and it just kind of starts, as I was describing before, spasming and almost twisting backwards in pain. And as this is happening, you're on the draw. As you bring the sword up, you cut this thing from its thigh up across its body, and as it's arching back and your sword goes, it just slices. And as it's going through, you're knocking out some of these daggers that were stuck in it from other people. And it's intestines, its stomach, its liver, all of this stuff just come flying out, smoking now, mind you, from this lightning. So it is just
filleted lycanthrope.
Oh fuck yeah! It's whole. And it falls back across in the middle of this room. It falls back across this hearth next to this other body where this fire was going, and you can see now as this body is bleeding out, it turns and it just looks at you. It's glaring at you, and very slowly the hair is burning but also falling out, and it gradually begins to shrink. And as it is shrinking, it takes on more and more of a human appearance until what is left lying across the hearth in this fire is what appears to be a very tall, thin, pretty unkempt man. And you can't really make it out very well. And the body is burning and it's covered in blood, but there appear to be runes in some kind of almost Ulfer sees what he seems to be some sort of like a curse tattooed across in different places on this body in runes.
Interesting. So we killed it?
It is not moving. It doesn't appear to be breathing. There is its intestines and its stomach.
So Dane is going to walk in from the back, having done nothing but make sure everybody else is okay, and swiftly decapitate the person. Just to be sure,
I was going to.
But also because I need credit for this kill to get my sword enchanted. So I got to do something here. So I get the head. I got dibs. Because I like how everybody else did my side quest for me. And I wasn't even at risk.
You were making sure they didn't go out the back door, though. That's
I know. But I'm just saying, like, I still got to do something here.
Well, come on, Noble. You could wrestle the basilisk or something for Vince on his quest.
I
you know.
There you go.
probably
This is what you
Wrestle
get
that
for
bitch.
searching for the backdoor action. Okay.
Hey,
Did you get your 20 gold?
I got a 20 gold is 20 gold, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second.
Oh Christ! Here we go.
And Vince, I don't know if you heard, but Drew said that there are runes on it that you would recognize as being part of a curse or something like that. So,
Yeah.
okay,
On what though?
on the body of the former werewolf, there are runes
Oh, okay.
tattooed on him.
We're going to need remove curse on the myself.
We
and,
need
other-
we need to know why Drew is laughing right now.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, none of the rest of you can see this except Bjorn. But Bjorn sees the ghost of Bint now.
Oh Christ!
And Bint's ghost is pointing to these markings on this thing, and then he goes over and he points. Bint is now pointing to the claw marks on Ulfr and to the bite mark on Galdor, and he looks really sad. He's a sad little dead gnome.
Okay.
Awesome. So I'm a lycanthrope now. Cool.
Well, yeah. Potentially.
Yeah.
The bite and Ulfr's scratch are starting to itch a little bit. And
We need some remove curse. Yes.
You are thirsty.
Well, for what?
Well, let me tell you.
You're feeling tingling in places
All right.
that you normally
In
don't.
my swimsuit
So-
area.
I am going to turn to Dane and say, "Can you help a brother out?"
And likewise with Ulfr.
Yeah.
Can Dane remove curses at this level?
I can actually let me check. I can cure disease twice a week. I can lay on hands.
Oh.
Son of a mother.
You can certainly try and see if that'll work.
Yeah, that's all I got. So I'm going to try the cure disease on because I can use that twice. So I'll try that on. How many people got bit? Just 2 or 3?
2.
Just two.
Okay,
Myself.
I'm going to
and-
try that on both of them and see if that does anything.
Hmm.
Do I need to roll for that or anything?
Galdor and
Crap,
Ulfr
haters.
don't feel any different. It still itches where they were clawed and bitten.
All right, I'm only going to be able to do this once at a time. So I will, since I've got the longer relationship with Ulfr, he and I have been partners for many years and many adventures. I'm going
We're
to
blood brothers.
yeah, I'm going to cast remove curse on Ulfr. So I will go over and put hands and pour holy water and make my incantations and prayers to Almighty Thor to bless my companion and remove the foul curse that has been placed on him by this unnatural creature which we have slain in Thor's honor and glory and so on and so forth.
As you are casting remove curse on Ulfr, you notice something.
Oh,
Mhm.
for fuck's sake.
And only Bjorn notices this. And that is that there are similar, just faint lines, like the runes
Mm-hmm.
that in the markings on the dead lycanthrope, the dead werewolf, that you can just faintly see magical traces on his body as you are casting remove curse, and these slowly fade and disappear. And you also notice Nobody else can see this. Only Bjorn. Bjorn was gifted with a sort of special sight beyond sight vision by Odin himself, and you can see
Thundercats ho.
on Galdor. It's not visible to the naked eye yet, but the faint beginnings of runes forming, on his exposed skin, very similar patterns to this.
Okay.
So I don't know how frequently Bjorn can cast this spell, but if it's going to be a minute, can we have the pseudo dragon paralyze Galdor before he goes werewolf on us?
Well,
and we can get him to.
Is your character saying this to the other characters?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I can't fix this.
Okay.
So maybe if it's going to take a minute for Bjorn to pray to Thor or Odin or whoever,
It'll be a day.
Yeah, I will have
you can take him to the temple tonight.
Yes, we can take him to the temple tonight. The other thing is, what level paladin are you, Noble?
Should be 8 or 9.
7.
Okay. If remove curse is a 3rd level clerical spell, so in theory, if you pray to Baldur, since you can do clerical spells 2 levels different, you may have access. You may have access to that.
I thought I checked that.
Galdor is starting to feel really thirsty now. You don't feel so good. You feel.
All right, I'm just very quietly whispering to Carl to go up behind Galdor and stab him with your stinger. With +4.
I start licking my arm.
Galdor notices what Carl's doing.
Carl's 80% invisible doing this.
Oh shit! Okay, so let's.
So Galdor,
Yeah.
Galdor ain't noticing shit.
Yeah,
Yep,
Ulfer and I are the only people that can see Carl doing anything.
So Galdor
I'm
doesn't.
busy licking my wound.
Okay. Literally.
Can you reach?
Okay. So
if I could reach, I'd never leave the house.
All right. What was that, Noble?
Carl.
Paladins don't get cleric spells until 9th level.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay. Carl does sting, and Galdor, you feel what feels like a sharp pinching in your back between your shoulder blades, and then you're just really sleepy, and then blackness.
You have to roll a 6-sider and find out how many days he's asleep for.
Holy crap! Really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! 4 days.
You're out for 4 days, motherfucker.
Hell.
You're gonna write balls on your forehead.
Okay. Now, so
Dane's grabbing the Sharpie as we speak.
That's
I'm
right.
going to pick him up so he doesn't fall to the floor and hurt himself. And
I thank Carl for his help, and I have
then
him perched back on
I'm
my
going
shoulder.
to carry him back to the church along with my souvenir head.
Nice.
I was going to, in the interest
I made this.
of making sure that he's just not sitting here, not doing anything while his character's asleep the entire time. Let's kind of go through what happens in the following days until he is awake again, and then resume, just so that everybody can be involved.
Okay.
Well, we'll hire someone to give him a sponge bath so he doesn't smell.
Right. It's not like
When we-
TJ where he doesn't know what's going on anyway.
When we're walking back, when we get past the end, I am sure people have seen that lightning strike the building.
Oh, by the way, the building is now really burning. So there is
We're
rain.
getting away as
That
fast
helps.
as we can.
As a quick reminder,
Mm-hmm.
we did hear 2 screams in 2 opposite directions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We're not worried about that now. We're not. That's not. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you're
No,
asleep. Shut up.
But that's
Just
good to
saying.
point out. Thank you.
I don't want to spoil anything, but but I'm glad that you brought that up. I want you to consider the implications.
Okay.
and the fact that this spreads.
Well, if we have to attack the other, if we go in the other direction of that other scream, we could always. So Dane or Bjorn can pick up Galdor and beat the beast with him because he's asleep.
Yeah,
it's like a pedestrian accident.
Well, let me ask you real quick. And actually, are you okay with this? If Galdor is out do you guys want to go across and investigate what's going on the west side of the river, or do you want to deal with getting him to the temple first, or what do you guys?
I'm going to take Galdor to the temple first. We don't need him.
Yeah.
We don't need dead weight literally hanging around.
No. We need an
I'm
extra.
strong enough
extra
to haul
arm.
him off there. So I'll haul him and the head of the one lycanthrope to the temple, and then in a few turns I will head back to where the group is investigating to be more useless in the next encounter.
Yeah, I will.
Also, I would like to remind Drek that there are a lot of bodies lying around with purses that they have no use of.
Oh,
That's
that
true.
sounds like a good idea. I think I'll pilfer a little bit.
Avail yourself of that.
They're not going to miss it. They're dead.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Dane to basically to give him backup since he's got a body with him, but also as we go past any onlookers who saw the lightning strike, I will point out to them that was from Thor himself. And when we get to the inn where the guards yelled that we were drunk and stuff, I will point out to them that, behold, we slayed the beast while you hid under the bed like little girls. And that not only did we do so, but we did so with the glory of the gods themselves, and that they may doubt me at their own peril, but when they doubt the power of the gods,
and the retribution
will blow in their life.
Was
and
that
so forth.
was the electrical the lightning come down burning your inn?
Yeah. So yeah. So doubt me if you want, but don't doubt the gods.
And you actually do pretty well. Rex comes out with 61 gold pieces, 48 silver pieces, and 71 coppers.
Cool. That.
So you managed to. Unfortunately, this is not the most well-off establishment, so you don't get any fancy jewels or much less like that, unless you want to go back and take like buttons and belt buckles and things and see if there's any valuable metals in those.
I don't think I have the time to do that with the place getting destroyed.
It is starting to burn now. Are you guys going to stop back at Yggdrasil's Shade, the other inn that you passed through? You're definitely going back there?
Well, yeah, I want to point out to the guards that they were wrong, and the gods will not look favorably on them for doubting the word of the gods. So
they look shamed, and one of them looks like he's going to say something to you, but then he thinks better of it. Just decides to keep his mouth shut. And after some reflection, they hang their heads and they say that they will do better. That they pledge their service to you. And to basically to prove themselves and to make amends for allowing their friend to die, and for not being able to for not going after this thing themselves. So now you have two followers.
Okay.
Henchmen.
That's right. So now, what the hell?
If they are true to that, I will remove 2 silver rings from my arms, and give one to each of them. That if they serve me, then that means they serve the gods, and I give them that as a 2 silver arm rings as a token of being sworn to the service of Thor.
Fuck, one of them's name is also Bjorn. I need to generate better names.
We're just going to give him an unflattering nickname anyway.
Actually, we'll say
or something like
Moan
that.
Larry.
Eric and Gunnar. There we go.
Okay.
I still think Bjorn gets to give him unflattering nicknames until they.
You
put
can
their
give
work.
them whatever. They're your henchmen. You can call them whatever you want.
Yeah.
Thing 1 and thing 2.
Spanky and Alfalfa.
So they basically pledge to follow you and to make to basically regain their honor by dying bravely in battle,
Okay.
so that they do not shame their fathers or ancestors.
I have Carl sting them both.
Are you serious?
No, not yet.
And,
to prove
now,
themselves.
are you hanging on to the head of this guy? As you do, Dane is carrying.
Yeah, Dane took his head. Yes.
You're still carrying this head around.
Yes.
Okay. Now realize that what everybody else, that what these other people saw was this massive, like 8, almost 9 foot tall wolf thing, and you've just got the head of this guy with a long, shaggy hair and beard.
Mhm.
So you'll have to.
Oh, that was the beast.
Mm-hmm. The beast. Yeah. We'll
Now
explain that it was a lycanthrope.
they would know that.
Mhm.
There were a lot of Norse.
It was a
werewolf
Skraeling.
myths.
It's basically a Skraeling. We killed a Skraeling. And Dane took the head of the Skraeling that had been killing the citizens of Jorvik and has completed his quest.
Wait, you said
Do what?
the singular?
Well, we
one of the
killed
women.
one of them. There is potentially more. We are aware that there are potentially more, but this was one of the Skraeling that had invaded Jorvik.
One of the women in the tavern comes up, walks up to where Dane is, and she spits on the head. She spits on the head. And she looks at it and she says, "This bastard," and starts saying that she recognizes him. She recognizes that he was, commonly a beggar down by the docks, and that on several occasions he had followed her and attempted to accost her.
Oh shit.
So
Me too.
she mentions that he is him and his I don't know what they call it, gang, down by the docks would come and harass her and her daughters at the fish, when they were going to buy fish from fishermen.
The fishmonger.
Fishmonger.
Yeah.
Fishwise.
So she thanks you for killing the bastard.
How many friends did he run with?
She says, "Oh, there's a whole lot of them. That they would have to be careful if they were to go to the market or to buy fish. If they saw them, they would avoid them. Probably. Let's see what the fucking dice. That they usually saw him with about 5 or 6 others.
Okay, I look at
All
Dane and
stinking bastards, honorless.
Correct.
I look at Dane and tell him that this one bore marks of his curse, and while those runes that I saw on him may well be on those of his pack, so we may be able to, even by the light of the sun, see the marks that show them as Skraeling and be able to clean out this lot.
She asks you she overhears this and asks you what marks. And when she's talking, another younger woman comes up and asks the same thing. What of these marks?
Okay. I'm assuming well, do I I know you said that Ulfa recognized the marks. Am I able to recognize the marks either?
Ulfa recognized that they seem to make out some sort of a curse.
Okay.
And you can read the runes. You didn't.
So I would be able to take a piece of charcoal or chalk or something, and show what the runes look like, and it's like there's this at the shoulder and this on the chest and this above the sternum and so on. So I could do that for the ladies.
Townsfolk are now gathering. Mm-hmm. Not all the time. The people that are in this establishment are now gathering, and you're in a different place. You are in the Yggdrasil's shade. So this is there is. It's not here now, but this is a much older establishment. One of the first that was built in here, and at one time there was an ash tree outside, but now that ash tree is what most of the tables and furnitures and everything inside is built of. As they made expand. Well, it's not important. There's a lot of very nice ash furniture. This is a little bit more upscale establishment, and you actually, now that you're inside and you're not worrying about were creatures tearing people apart, you do notice that there are carvings in the beams and in the tables and in the doors showing Yggdrasil and its branches. So in the whole theme going on. Anyway, so and you notice that you're drawing the table because it's kind of there. As you are doing this, the people start to gather around, and another one of the women points when you start drawing the symbols. Yes. The several of the beggars and thieves that hang out down by the docks and that harass us in the market have similar markings to that.
Okay.
They do recognize those markings. They're the same ones that this one is usually seen with.
Okay. I tell them that it would be prudent for them to keep their distance from those that bear the mark. And I look at Gunner and Little Bear and tell them to remember these marks well, because our quarry will bear them, but we need to share this information with the guardsmen and, more importantly, to the Jarl, because before we start rounding up his citizens, even the beggars and thieves near the docks and the markets, we need to do so by his leave. Just Dane law requires it.
As you're having this conversation, you're talking to people, you notice one of the people is kind of staying back in the corner and doesn't seem to be as interested in what's going on, and starting to make his way towards the back door. And then you notice is wearing Johann's clothes. He's wearing the outfit. I shouldn't say it said Johann's clothes. He is wearing the outfit of a cleric of Odin, trying to sneak out the back door now.
Like a cleric of Odin wouldn't be doing that kind of sneaky bullshit.
Yeah. I call after him to come here, holy brother of the All-Father. We need your assistance.
Need some consult.
Says, nah, that's all right. That's all right. Go on. You got this.
I look
He
at
keeps you.
I am going to confront this shifty character.
I'll
prevent
watch
him from
Geldor
leaving.
for you.
As
We'll put the
as
head on the
you
table and Geldor.
Yeah.
so he starts when he sees Dane starting to move towards him. He runs back through the door behind the bar, which goes to where the storeroom is. He makes a break for it.
Wish I had some cantrips.
Okay.
Drek, can you get
I'm
around
gonna-
back and stop him, trip him up?
I'm gonna pursue, but yeah, we're probably gonna need another person to help.
Ulfer,
You want to use your
Well-
drone?
Yes. Well, hang on. Well, we need to wrap up soon. So,
Yeah.
I will send. So, how far ahead is this asshole?
he is. So the room is, I don't know, like 20, 30 feet across from front to back. There's tables and everything. A lot of people gathered around. And he is back in it through another, went around behind where the counter was, and there's an open area back there
What color?
where they have storage.
What color is the cloak?
It was blues, mostly like a dark blue with some patterns woven in it. You can
All right.
see
Carl.
Odin's
Sick
wolves,
balls.
ravens.
All right, Carl. Yeah. Oh, can you do me a favor? That retreating figure
Roll-
with the blue cloak with the scroll work on it with the filigree.
Roll
Like,
initiative for Carl.
Go sting his ass. All right. Carl gets a 6.
Okay, yeah, you beat it. So, and make an attack roll.
It's you. Well, you could do that. It's the fighter. It's
shit.
a second level fighter with a +4. You do the monsters. and stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck, yeah. All right, so he's got to save against poison then. Yeah, that's not going to do it. So as he is going out and is just trying to open the door to go out the back, he's lifting the
Long live
bar.
Carl.
Mm-hmm.
You see him kind of. You can barely see Carl because he's he's just blending in and he's so fast. You see him suddenly kind of straighten up, and then he just slumps against the door and
Now roll 1 to
slides
6
down
for how
onto
many
the
days
floor.
he's asleep. Fuck that guy.
4. I can't. I
Four,
keep
another
getting
4 days.
fucking time.
Another 4 days.
It's always 4 for this for some
I'm
reason.
fine. I'm fine with that actually.
And
Strange.
as he slumps down and falls back in the floor, the hood falls back, and you can see it is the thief, Sled, who
Oh, it's Sled?
attempted to pick
Oh, we're gonna
your
have fun now.
pockets earlier. So he must have gotten away and attacked Johann
God damn it.
and stolen his clothes.
Yeah,
We're gonna glue his ass cheeks together.
They probably already are.
I don't know that was a traditional Norse punishment. Maybe bloodwings.
Well,
Tar.
I don't know. What did they do
Tar-
to thieves? Did they cut their hands off? Did they?
probably just kill them, slaughter them, cut their head off, or just like.
It could be. Now, I want you to also consider that his actions resulted in the death
Mm-hmm.
of Johann indirectly.
We have plans for this asshole now. Don't worry, but he's gonna take a 4-day nap.
So he is completely out.
We should probably use him as a shield in the basilisk lair.
Also,
I love that idea.
I do too.
We should crucify him and run him through the basilisk lair.
there is a pouch that he has under his.
I'm gonna
robes,
Ulfr
which
will Ulfr will go through the pouch.
It appears that he has been picking the pockets and taking other pouches from other people in the bar while he's been here, or in the inn while he's been here.
That sounds like Aaron.
So you find inside the larger pouch there are multiple smaller coin purses
Okay. Well, I'll
some
check out those later.
keys.
Oh, some what? Keys?
There is a key. Actually, hold on here. When you pull the key out, God damn it, I have this fucking written down. When you pull the key out, Bjorn notices something, a faint glow.
Okay.
Does this look familiar, Bjorn?
I will mention that it has a slight glow as if enchanted.
And if you examine it closely, you will see it
examining
looks like
it closely with my magical abilities.
It appears to be an ordinary iron key, but if you look very closely, there are some small runes inscribed in it. And are you casting? What is the spell that determines the abilities of a magic? I forgot. I know there's a name for it. I can't remember. You know what I'm talking.
It's almost
not
like
divination or whatever.
Yeah, it's almost like a read magic kind of spell.
Yeah, it determines.
We'll hold off on that, but that'll be the first order of business once we get back and heal, and we take care of Galdor, who's going to be asleep for 4 days as well, and then we'll figure out how we're going to
now
use Sled as a shield.
As you are moving, how are you moving Galdor around while he's out?
Dane has him.
Yeah, Dane's carrying me around.
And I'll around?
Yeah, and I'll carry
Fireman's
Sled since I'm probably the next strongest person in the group.
So, Dane,
actually, we have henchmen for that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So we'll have
Gunnar and Eric.
Yeah, we'll have Gunnar carry one and Eric carry the other as part of their penance, and that way.
When Gunnar picks up Galdor to carry him, he gasps and he sets him down and he calls Bjorn, and he points to him, and you can see around the forearm where it's exposed from the light that there are faint, not like light blue, like lines, barely visible lines starting to form on the skin around his forearm, similar to the ones that you just drew.
Okay. I will inform them that we were expecting this because he took wounds in fighting the Skraeling, and so we need to get him to the High Temple, to the priest
having
of
him
Odin
asleep
there
is the only
to
way
get him.
Yeah, having him asleep is mitigating the effects, so we don't have to kill him.
Yes. So but we do need to hurry. So,
well, it's still the first day, so let's get back. We're gonna go back to the temple. We're gonna heal up. We're gonna eat, rest, and I'm gonna delve further into the key as far as trying to figure out what that is.
Right. So, wrapping things up, you're going back to the temple, and we will pick up at the temple with everything happening there. But again, the moon is almost full. You're going to have a couple more nights of this.
Well, now we know what to do. We kind of have a strategy on dealing with these things.
Right. So we're hoping to talk to the Jarl in the morning. But first thing is getting Galdor to another cleric who can remove the curse, and then being presented to the Jarl to tell him what's going on, to tell him about the Skraelings, to tell him about how we can discover who the Skraelings are even by the light of day, and proceeding to gather up as many of them can before the next nightfall, so that the murders in his city can come to an end, and also so that we can do Vince's quest and also start gathering our army to go back to the island. And the Jarl needs to protect the docks and the ships at the docks, because there are deep ones who know that the Jarl and his men and armies could be a threat.
Goblins near the coast to the east, northeast.
Yes.
And the deep ones in the ocean, in the river.
Yeah.
All right,
goblins, deep ones, and werewolves.
Is there a way to get Galdor up with like an antidote? Like, is it a poison or is it like stun?
It's a venom. He's
cataleptic now. So what'll happen is the curse will be removed, but he'll still be asleep for how many days after.
So there's
Unless
no way to
someone
get him
casts,
up
like,
within
reverse-
those days.
Would reverse poison or something possibly work on him?
let's check. I'm going to check. I will look through. So I will look
probably use the
through
rest.
the DMG's guide and everything, and we'll figure it out. I am going to assume that there's got to be some magical way to reverse this. There's It's like there's a spell for everything. So I don't know, but if you maybe cast the reverse, it was like the hold person spell. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up so that before the next session, I will let you know what I can find in terms of what spells, and we'll figure something out. And here's the thing: I'm just going to tell you this now. We will figure something out so that Galdor is able to be conscious for the session. So, because this is not like it's another PC. It's not somebody that you would want to have out. So we'll figure something out.
Yeah, Sled, we want to sleep for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
We have plans.
Leave him asleep.
We have plans for him.
Mm-hmm.
Control Carl with the fire wand.
Oh yeah,
Won't get him. They
I'm
can just throw
definitely gonna
heads
do that.
at him. That's it.
Right. I'm definitely gonna have trained Carl with the wand.
That is going to be interesting.
Yep.
Again, remember, a lot of flammable buildings in town.
It's like putting a Roman candle on a drone.
Yep.
All right, cool. That was a good session.
That worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty
That
funny.
was-
A lot of
so-
hijinks.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Dane he saved the day, man.
I'm so glad I was there, you guys.
Well, no, okay. To be fair, what would have happened if instead of the thing attacking you, it had bolted out the back door? Are you going to be? Because again, imagine a toddler in a foot race with an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're not gonna catch it. The only person in your party that is going to keep up with the werewolf would have been Carl.
Yep.
Mhm.
And all Carl could do is let you know where it's going.
We can sting him too.
But so if Dane had not been it was tactically a smart thing to do because that was the only, unless it went like upstairs and like through, because remember I mentioned the windows were small. That was not just a random flavor. That was specifically meaning the windows are not an option for ingress or egress. So the doors.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the right thing to
That
do. Cover the back door because he
that
could have
makes
gone
sense.
out the back and. So yeah, it was tactically smart. It was a good move.
Cool.
Because you didn't know.
We did not know.
Could have gone either way.
Excellent.
So that was fun.
Yes, it was. Thank you for DMing as always.
It was my
Always a
pleasure. Glad
Indeed.
this worked out. Looking forward to finding out what happens in Roller's game too. But I always will.
Indeed. All right. So on the schedule for next Wednesday will be Rollo's campaign. That's going to be on the 26th. And then we'll get Drew on the schedule for the next game as well, so we can continue on with our quests. All right, everyone. Enjoy your weekends. What was that, Drew?
I was going to say I can do August 2nd if that's good.
Let me take a look.
Because we got through like half this. I've been kind of thinking about this as we've been going, and I was prepared for about twice as much as what we got through. So I'm ready for. We could go for 3 more hours if we didn't have a limit right now.
Indeed. Fantastic. So we'll schedule Drew's game for Wednesday, August 2nd. Fantastic. All right, everyone. Good night, you magnificent bastards. Sled is gay.